Hi all. Today we are going to see how cell phone works. The smartphones you have, right from 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, we are looking towards 5G. So how the cell phone works. Today we are going to see the very basics of the cellular systems and cellular networks. How this wireless communication does. So this is very important technology. Cellular technology is one of the fastest growing technology on the planet. Presently, we are starting to see 5th generation phones are coming to the market, right? New phones allow users to do much more than just holding the phone conversations. Beyond the voice, along with the voice, we store the contact information, make task to-do list, keep track of appointments, calculator, send receive emails, Instagram, Facebook, send receive pictures, and there are many more stuff we do on the phones. Today we will review the design of cellular system, what are the key components, what it is designed like and why. Also we will look at how cellular network supports multiple cell phone users at a time. Finally we will review the important generation of cellular systems and start looking at the design of the first generation of cell phones. The cellular concept. Cellular system was developed to provide mobile telephony access anytime, anywhere. First mobile telephone system was developed and inaugurated in the United States in 1945. This was a very simplified version of the system used today. A base station provides coverage, that what we used to call communication capabilities. Mostly these are the frequencies over which we communicate to users on mobile phones within its coverage area. Users outside the coverage area receive and transmit signals with too low amplitude for reliable communications. Users within the coverage area transmit and receive signals from the base station. The base station itself is connected to the wired telephone network. So means from base station to the mobile station, the communication is wireless. And from base station towards to the BSC, MSC, to the PSTN, each and everything is wired. So this is the very first mobile telephone system where you can see this is the entire coverage area, which coverage is provided by the base station. So one and only one high power base station with which all users communicate. This is with the wire connected to your PSTN, public switch telephone network, and the mobile station, the phones are getting the frequencies, what we used to call the coverage area, in this particular circle, or it is actually hexagon, but right now for the basics this is a circle. So original mobile telephone system could not only support a handful of users at a time over an entire city. With only one high power base station, user phones also needed to be able to transmit at high powers to reliable transmit signals to the distant base station. Car phones were therefore much more feasible than handheld phones, example police car phones. Over the next few decades, researchers at AT&T Bell Labs developed the core ideas for today's cellular system. Although these core ideas existed since the 60s, it was not until the 80s that electronic equipment became available to realize the cellular system. In the mid-80s, the first generation of cellular system was developed and deployed. The core idea that led to today's system was the cellular concept. Multiple low power base stations that service mobile users within their coverage area and hand off users to neighboring base stations as users move. Together base station tessellate the system coverage area. Thus, instead of one base station covering an entire city, the city was broken up into the smaller cells and smaller coverage area. Each of the smaller coverage areas had its own low power base station. User phones in one cell communicate with the base stations in that cell. So the Karvinagar, if I am taking the example of Karvinagar is dense, right, compared to the Undri or Pisori, means outskirts of Pune. The number of users are more in Karvinagar compared to the Undri and Pisori. So at Karvinagar, the high frequency cells are the number of slots to be provided by the base stations are more. The number of users to be served in the Karvinagar are more comparatively at the Undri and Pisori. So these are done by the cell design engineers that you are going to be in future if you want to work in the mobile communication or wireless communication systems. So they design at what time, how many calls, that estimate has to be done. In happy hours, how many users to be served. At the peak level, when the number of slots available are engaged, you will get that. Now we are not getting that, but most of the time we used to get that this, please try after some time. All the slots are busy. Please call after some time. Okay. So small cells tessellate overall coverage area. Users hand off as they move from one cell to another, and frequency reuse. These are the three core principles of cellular system. Some group of small regions tessellate a large region if they over the large region without any gaps or overlaps. There are only 3 regular polygons that tessellate. Tessellate means cover any given region. 3 regular polygons that always tessellates. One is equilateral triangle, square, and regular hexagon. Original cellular system was developed assuming base stations antennas are omnidirectional. They transmit in all the directions equally. Users located outside some distance to the base station receive weak signals. Means result, base station has circular coverage areas. Thus, ideally, base stations have identical circular coverage areas. Problem is, circles do not tessellate. If you try to cover this area with the circles, either some area between the 4 circles, the area which is not covered by any of the circle, that area will not be served. And if you want to cover that area, all the 4 circles or 1 or the 2 circles are going to overlap. Means at a time 2 or more base stations want to provide the services over there. The most circular of the regular polygon that is tessellate is the hexagon without overlapping. Thus early researchers started using hexagons to represent the coverage area of base station, that is a cell. Hexagon is nothing but a cell. So the triangle inside the hexagon is a base station. We used to say that tower. In most of the time we use the word tower, right? That is nothing but the base station. The engineer should call it as a base station, and the coverage area provided that particular base station is shown in hexagon, right? Since the network resembles a cell from a honeycomb, the name cellular was used to describe resulting mobile telephone network. And whatever the mobile stations inside that particular cell, so we used to call a cell phone. So this is the cellular system architecture. All the base stations are connected with the red color wire depicting, that is to the MSC. MSC is connected with the HLR and VLR. All the MSC is connected to other MSCs of the other service area, other services provided by the different service providers, and ultimately all the service providers are connected to the PSTN. Fine. So MSC is your mobile switching center, HLR is home location register, and VLR is visitors location registers. What are the use? I am going to explain. So each cell is served by base station, right? Each base station is connected to a mobile switching center through fixed links. Each MSC is connected to other MSCs and PSTN. Each MSC is a local switching exchange that handles switching of mobile users from one base station to another. Locating the current cell of a mobile users who will help. There are 2 databases. One is HLR, that is home location register, and another is VLR, that is visitors location registers. Database recording the current location of each mobile that belongs to the MSC, that is HLR. Whenever I am moving from my home and visiting to someone, I am visiting the foreign location. Suppose I am moving from Maharashtra to I am in Maharashtra and I am the subscriber of Maharashtra. Now I am in Goa or Mumbai or Hyderabad. So I am going to visit the foreign land. So though I belongs to the HLR of Maharashtra, I will be registered as in a VLR of that foreign land and interfacing with others MSCs and PSTN. So one channel in each cell is set aside for signaling information between base stations and mobiles. Mobile to base station, location, call setup for outgoing, response to incoming. Base stations to mobile, Serial identity, call setup for incoming and location updating. This is the use of the signaling between the base station. That is the use of one channel. So handoff.